School's back. Time of year's coming, which means maybe somebody you know. Are you guys preparing out there for a standardized test? You know, those ones with the acronyms. ACT, SAT, GRE, GMAT, LSAT, MCAT. They sound scary. They don't have to be. Magoosh Online Test Prep provides everything you need to get a great score, with plans starting at just $79. You get study schedules, practice questions, video lessons, and even support from expert tutors. Just visit magoosh.com, enter promo code BEAUTIFUL for a 20% off discount. That's magoosh.com, promo code BEAUTIFUL. Support for today's show comes from Squarespace. Whether you need a portfolio to showcase your work, a store to sell your products and services, or a blog to share your ideas, Squarespace gives you everything you need to make your next move into a reality. Not to mention, with Squarespace's beautifully designed templates and customizable features, creating a beautiful website is a simple, intuitive process. You just add and arrange your content with the click of a mouse. That's why I like it. I dig it. You get to try stuff on that back end. It's really simple. I use it, and I don't know how to code at all. It is easy, and it's fun. It's fun to kind of see the effects of the things you choose to do. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com. Enter offer code CG to get 10% off your first purchase. That's CG, like me, Chris Gethard. Hello to everybody looking for an inspection sticker. It's Beautiful Anonymous. It's 1 hour, one phone call, no names, no holds barred.
I'd rather go one-on-one. I think it'll be more fun, and I'll get to know you, and you'll get to know me.
Hello, everybody. It's Chris Gethard here, welcoming you to another episode of Beautiful Anonymous. Thanks for tuning in. This is, what a joy, what a pleasure. My life has been so stressed out lately. So we're doing the Chris Gethard Show on True TV, and every week I get to sit down, put some headphones on, turn off my phone, and just talk to a human being for an hour. And it's the best hour of my week, and I thank you guys for supporting it and allowing it to happen. A couple quick plugs to get out of the way. We got some live tapings. Denton, Texas, September 29th, as part of Fest. Gainesville, Florida, October 28th. Also some stand-up dates up there for Woodstock, Binghamton, Gainesville. Check those out, chrisgeth.com if you're interested. Also, don't want you guys mad at me if I don't, Career Suicide, which was my HBO special. We're putting out an album. There's only going to be 1,000 copies on vinyl. Don Giovanni Records is the website where you can get that. Those are the plugs. Things I wanted you guys to know about. We'll move on. Last week's episode, Katie Couric was nice enough to stop by. Really loved it. Loved our talk. Turns out, here's the thing. You Beautiful Anonymous fans are the nice. I've met you. I went on the tour. I've met all of you. Such nice, thoughtful people. But man, do you hate deviations from the format? You just want some guy talking. That's what you want. It's very flattering. A lot of people did say it was eye-opening. A lot of people felt like, especially with Katie's background, having produced a documentary on the trans community, that she had some very thoughtful, in-depth questions. A lot of you guys also just go, no guest host. You did it with Hannibal and Katie. That's okay. I got to experiment. Got to spread my wings every now and then and fly. This week's episode, very excited to bring it to you. I laughed pretty hard at this one. We've had some intense ones, some political ones stand out lately. I think we can all say, all the fans of this, everybody in the Facebook group would agree, which, by the way, join Beautiful Anonymous, the community, coming up on 19,000 members. It's becoming an army. And I'd love if you were part of it. I think everybody would agree. Let's have some laughs with this one. Let's get a little, at times, gross with this lovable, ball-busting bartender that I had the privilege to know for an hour. This one is funny, weird, gross, all the things that I like when I'm looking to relax, let off some steam. So enjoy this one. Nothing heavy, nothing political. Good times.
Thank you for calling Beautiful Anonymous. A beeping noise will indicate when you are on the show with the host.
Hey, Chris, what's up?
Not much. Same old. How about you?
So, full disclosure, man, I just texted my boyfriend and I said, holy shit, I'm on hold to talk to Chris Gethard, but I had to piss so bad. Stopped at a Dunkin Donuts. I'm totally peeing right now, man, and I'm real sorry about it.
Currently urinating.
I'm peeing right now. What's happening?
Wow, I applaud you for owning up to it and not trying to hide it. Sometimes you ever play the creative mute game?
Oh, all the time. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's where you
absolutely
do your business and then you wait till the other person talks, put your phone on mute, flush, and then hope that the flush is
Yeah.
done before you have to speak again?
Yeah, I actually just played that on you guys when you were restarting the call, and I was like, oh, fuck, sorry, Sally. I'm going to actually, right off the top, I'm going to do a universal sorry, Sally. I have a mouth like a trucker. I don't even mean it. It just comes out that way.
That's okay. We're just, you know what? We're just two friends pissing and cursing. Just two pals pissing and cursing.
Man.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to recommend to you, you probably shouldn't piss seeing as you're sitting in a studio.
Yeah.
I'm at least on the toilet.
Yes, I'm not actively urinating right now like you are.
I mean, I've got a one-up on you already out the gate. At least I'm pissing on a toilet.
Understood. And you mentioned, just for anybody listening, you mentioned we restarted the call. We had about, first 10 seconds, we had some tech difficulties. So we just...
Okay, and you know what? I mean, that's during the flush, if we're going to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
That was during the flush. So that was like karma for me. That gave me a solid time to flush and wipe.
Maybe that's what happened. Maybe they heard your flush and they were like, oh, there's all kinds of crazy static on the line. Hold on, we better restart this. And what we never knew was
Well,
that...
now I feel like a dick.
It's because you're peeing in a Dunkin'
I feel like a
Donuts. You don't have to feel
I'm
bad.
making them, yeah. At least I wasn't taking a shit. I mean,
Wow.
finished up real fast. But, yeah.
You really go there.
You know what, Chris? I have, I don't know if you've ever heard it. I have Crohn's disease. So,
Brutal.
yeah, talk
Brutal.
about crap. I mean, you had a whole episode dedicated to someone taking craps, but, it's poop talk. It's a real way of life in my family.
Yeah. Many people's least favorite episode of Beautiful Anonymous was the poop talk one.
I felt like I connected with that guy.
That's great.
I was like, this is awesome.
That's great.
I mean, I come from a real big family, like real big. I'm one of 6 girls, no boys.
Wow. 6 girls. And there's do other people in your family got the Crohn's or no?
No, but it was like, so I'm second oldest in line, and my mom would like make it a family conversation. People are not going to love this, just warning you now. But my mom would ask, like, oh, have you gone to the bathroom today? What it looks like?
We got to bleep your name. You said your name. We're going to bleep it. If we can flag the time code on that, we're going to bleep the name.
Oh, that's okay. I have probably one of the most common names in the United States.
Fair.
Solid. There's billions of my name, but yeah, she would try to talk to my family about whether I went to the bathroom and what it looked like, and it had to be a family discussion. It's a real struggle.
Oh, I needed this at the end of a long week. I've had a long week, and this is exactly what I needed.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to paint the picture. Imagine a full table of 6 girls. A mom and dad were, my mom's Puerto Rican and Italian, and my dad's Irish and Native American. Wow. And it was common dinner talk to talk about my bowel movements. Even if I had a boyfriend at the table, it didn't matter. It had to be known.
Wow. I would have to imagine too. I mean, any family with multiple kids, there's a lot of fighting for bathroom time, let alone 6 kids, a lot of fighting, let alone I would imagine 6 girls, probably even more, just buying into the gender stereotype on that one. You having Crohn's disease, you must have been like throwing haymakers to get in there.
Yeah, but you know what? I pulled that card all the time.
Yeah. Extra
time to get ready in the morning. Sorry, I've got Crohn's. I just locked that door, and my mom was like, guys, leave her be. She's, it's difficult for her in there. I would just be sitting in there reading a Harry Potter book just for some time alone. They would know, though.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what Crohn's disease is. I know that sometimes people have to have surgeries where you get portions of your intestines removed because of it, and it seems really brutal.
Yeah, I got diagnosed super, super young at 7 years old, which is super, super uncommon. It's an inflammation of your intestines. I have it in 2 separate parts of my intestines, and what it is you can't really break down or process food. So either I would eat a piece of celery and get super sick, lots of pains, and crazy diarrhea with blood in it, or I would eat a cheeseburger and nothing would happen to me. It was really hit or miss for me. But I got diagnosed when I was really young, so I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't use that to my advantage at all times.
Yeah, you gotta. Sometimes you gotta.
Not the sexiest disease, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. You still on that Dunkin' Donuts?
Especially Yeah. I'm chilling in the parking lot. You know, don't want to text and drive. It's real strict in my state.
Mm-hmm.
Can't text or be on the phone while you're driving.
That's nice. You pulled over. Now, I would have. Do you buy something when you use it? Because you probably had to have a lot of emergency bathroom stops. Do you buy something at the Dunkin' Donuts, or do you just run in?
Every time.
You do every time.
I know every time. I'm a bartender, and I'm a 30-year-old bartender, and I have the guilt. The guilt is probably that Catholic guilt that you talk about all the time. People look at me, and I don't want to be that person that they're like, hey, bathrooms are just for customers. I don't know if that's ever happened in the history of the world, but I also don't want to be that first person that it happens to.
I get it. And everybody, a roommate, one of my best friends in the world, we lived together for 8 years. He was a server, and he had a fear. Anybody in the service industry, he was an over tipper. He was like, this is part of the deal, man.
Oh, that's me. I just got a bottle of water. It was $4, and I gave her a $4 tip. I just felt so bad.
You gave someone a 100% tip on a bottle of water?
I know. I do it all the time. I don't know what it is. I think it's because if I get a good tip, I know how much it changes my whole day. I could just have like the shittiest day, dude, and then someone gives me, just like a 35-40% tip, and I'm like, wow, what a great day.
100.
Well, maybe that's $4.
I don't usually even tip on a bottle of water, let alone 100%.
I don't know that you're supposed to. I really don't know that you're supposed to, but I don't know. Like, she smiled. She seemed to really enjoy it, so that was good for me, I guess. So
you gave her $4 on top of $4 for a product that generally you don't tip on.
100%. It's almost embarrassing to say out loud now that I'm admitting it.
I like you. I like you.
Thanks, man. I like you too. But I just,
vibe.
It made her day. I felt it made her day, and that made my day. And I also had to piss so bad. So it was like, let me give her this $4. She's going to smile, and I'm going to go run to that bathroom right now.
Now, you mentioned your Catholic guilt sometimes drives a lot of this. You also mentioned your background. You've got multiple branches of the family from traditional Catholic backgrounds, huh?
We're just killing it in the Roman Catholic industry, yeah.
Yeah, because I know Irish and Italian for sure, traditional Roman Catholics. I believe Puerto Rico is generally Catholic.
Yeah, well, my part is, okay, so this is where I get real interesting, Chris. So my mom's father was from Italy. He was 100% Roman Catholic. My mother's mother passed away when my mom was real young. The grandmother that I knew was also 100% Puerto Rican. My grandfather apparently had a type. And she practices Santería. You know what that is?
Like
the song?
Isn't that I don't want to, this may be a phrase that's like a catch-all that's not fair, but isn't it known sort of as like almost a form of voodoo?
Yes, it's exactly what it is. And it's crazy.
Wait, so
it's crazy.
Your step-grandmother is a Santería practitioner.
Oh, yeah. And if you saw me, you'd be like, there's not an ounce Puerto Rican in that girl. I've got blonde hair and blue eyes. I'm 5'8". You would never think there's any Puerto Rican in me, but the minute you meet my grandmother, you're like, wow, she's crazy. I mean, she believes that rocks and, the earth can talk to her. She has a spirit guide. She doesn't sleep on her back because she's afraid that her spirit will travel to other places when she's sleeping. It's real.
Does she participate in ceremonies?
Oh, yeah. She was pretty high up there in her heyday. She was up there. They've got this weird thing where you can only wear white for a year. Like your linens, your clothes, everything, your sheets, everything has to be completely white. I don't know if that's like when you're coming into the religion or what it was, but my grandfather, towards the end of his life, he started practicing this religion with her, and he had an entire year where he only wore white. The sheets had to be white, like his blankets had to be white, and they have all these different bead necklaces that like depict where you are in the religion.
And did you ever attend? Did you ever attend any of the ceremonies?
Oh, hell no. My mother would not have any of that. But my grandmother did, when she would stay over, I'll never forget this for as long as I live. One of my best friends growing up was over. We were probably 11 or 12 years old, and my grandmother had brought one of her Santería friends up from where she lived, and in the city. So we live about an hour from the city that we're in. And so she came up, and her and her friend were in the living room. And my grandfather had passed away a couple of years before in the house that I grew up in the bed. And, you know, it was very peaceful. It was very, you know, just went to sleep. Well, my grandmother and her friend came, and apparently there were other spirits in the house that they wanted to cleanse from the house. And here I am coming home from soccer practice with this girl, like, yeah, we're going to have a sleepover. It's the weekend. And there's my grandmother and some lady invoking spirits in the middle of the living room. And my mom is just chilling on the kitchen table, just drinking coffee, flipping through the paper like, yeah, your grandmother's in there doing some real weird voodoo shit. Just don't go in there for a couple hours.
What
I was like,
are you
Mom,
talking about? What are you even talking about? What are you talking about?
Serious. I wish I was watching.
This is the
I
best.
wish I was crying.
It is Friday. It is 5:30 p.m. I've had such a long week, and I cannot ask for better than this. Oh my God, you're my favorite.
I'm sorry. I know it sounds so crazy, but I mean, I have if any of my friends listen to this video or listen to this podcast, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I know exactly who she is and who she's talking about. I mean, my grandmother's the best. Don't get me wrong. She's so cool. She jokes with us, but this is real. She really had this lady just invoking spirits, and she was sitting in my mom's rocking chair, just convulsing, talking in tongues. And in I walk in my shin guards, all sweaty and grass stained, with my best friend at the time, not sleepover. All we want to do is watch Boy Meets World and eat fucking chocolate chip cookies. And there's my grandmother having a seance in my living room.
What does your friend say?
She had met my grandmother before, so luckily, she had met her before, and she was kind of chill with it, and she was like, oh, man, Grandma Carmen's up. But, you know, there's that moment where you're she probably was like, I don't want to sleep here. I don't feel safe. This is not good.
What?
But she stuck it out. She was a trooper.
So you got a grandma who practices Santería. Largely underground religion. Underground folk religion.
Real creepy. Real creepy.
And then, so that's your Italian side and your Puerto Rican side. You got Irish and Native American. I
do. And I wish that we could say that we weren't as stereotypical on that end, but we are.
How?
Drank. My dad, I mean, he smoked pot probably every day of my life, and I didn't realize it until I was 15 years old.
Really?
He's just riding the American train.
He's riding the what train?
The Native American thing. He was just riding it in. He was like, nope, this is what we do. We smoke pot every day.
How in touch is your family with your Native American culture?
So my mom, who's not Native American, my parents are divorced, and they stayed best friends. They got married really young because my mom got pregnant with me when they were in high school, and they got myself and another sister, and they divorced because they were we got married really young. My Italian grandfather was like, if you don't marry her, I'll make you disappear. So my dad was like, all right, sweet, let's do this.
Wait, was that an idle threat, or was your grandfather someone who had the capability of doing that?
100%. He had a garage in the south part of our city. I mean, I'm not going to give it away, even though you guys are going to bleep my name, but he had a garage in the South Bronx that was a car garage, and a car never went into that thing. You went in there was just dudes playing cards and people hanging out. A car never went in there. You could buy an inspection sticker, though. You didn't have to bring your car. You could just buy an inspection sticker.
So your grandfather may have had some associations with the mafia. Your grandmother is a Santería priestess. And now you're walking.
Yeah.
And now what's going on with the other side of your family?
My dad, he's just, he's a chill dude. He just smokes a lot of weed, just lets it happen. But we're, like I said, we're a massive family. So my parents divorced, stayed best friends. It's going to get real confusing from here. So I'm gonna let you know, buckle up. Parents divorced. So it's me and my sister from my mom and my dad. And then my mother remarried, had a daughter, and he had a daughter from a previous marriage. And my father remarried, and they had 2 girls. So that's where the 6 comes in, the 6 girls total. Well, parents are best friends. We've done every holiday together. My dad actually lived with my mom and stepdad for about 2 years while he was looking for somewhere to live. We're real weird.
So not all of your 5 sisters are full blood sisters. Some of them are half sisters. Some of them are step sisters.
Yeah, there's one step, and the rest of us are half. I have one full blood sister.
Well, you are.
But you would never know it. We do every holiday together. We do every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every birthday, everything's all been done together as one real weird Walton Brady Bunch group.
Now, how did your stepdad feel when your dad was living with you for 2 years?
He's the one that invited him. He said, hey, the kids have all moved out. We've got an extra bedroom. Come stay with us and save some money. They're best friends.
Wow.
On the weekend, they go downstairs and they work on cars together. Yeah, it's hysterical. The UPS guy will show up. And my mom never changed her name after she divorced my father because she had us, and she just never ended up changing her name. And the UPS guy will be like, oh, are you Mr. So-and-so with my father's last name? And my dad was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm here to fix your wife's dryer. He's like, oh, no, that's my wife's new husband. I'm the ex-husband. I also live here. You've got to see the look on his face, that poor guy. He's lost. He's like, what do you mean you live with your husband and your ex-husband? And we're not Mormons, so definitely frowned upon in the Catholic religion. I don't know what they're thinking, but it works. That's a little background on my family. That's about
what would you ask you? What would you even ask about? I don't even know what to ask you. I'm going to take a break right there. Every once in a while, you confuse a UPS guy. And hey, what do UPS guys do? They come to your house to drop off products that you buy. And amazingly enough, we have some advertisers, sponsors that sell things that you can check out and use the promo codes Beautiful Anonymous. It really helps. We'll be back with more phone call right after this. Are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Finding great talent can be tough. Thankfully, with ZipRecruiter, you can post your job to 100 plus job sites with just one click. Then their powerful technology efficiently matches the right people to your job, better than anybody else. That's why ZipRecruiter is different. Unlike other job sites, ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. In fact, over 80% of employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just 24 hours. There's no juggling emails, no calls to your office. You just screen, rate, manage candidates all in one place with ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use dashboard. Find out today why ZipRecruiter has been used by businesses of all sizes to find the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now, my listeners can post jobs on ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. You go to ZipRecruiter.com/beautiful. That is ZipRecruiter.com/beautiful. One more time, you want to try it free? Go to ZipRecruiter.com/beautiful. Support for today's show comes from Squarespace. Whatever your next big idea might be, count on Squarespace to help you create an eye-catching online platform that brings it to life. Whether you need a portfolio to showcase your work, or a store to sell products and services, a blog to share your ideas, whatever you need, Squarespace is there for you. They give you everything you need to look like an expert right from the start. You can even get a unique domain. That strengthens your brand, baby. Strengthen that brand. Makes it easier for visitors to find you. Squarespace really hooks you up with all the stuff you need. They've got award-winning templates. You can create a beautiful website with those. That makes it so simple, so intuitive. You can also add and arrange your content features with the click of a mouse. There's nothing to install or patch or upgrade ever. It's part of why I dig it. I don't know how to do any of that stuff, but Squarespace makes it very easy. Though if you do have a question, Squarespace has award-winning 24/7 customer support. They'll help you with any problem. It doesn't matter if it seems trivial to you or technical or whatever. That's your own personal IT department. That's how you can think about them. So make your next move. Start your free trial at squarespace.com today. Enter offer code CG to get 10% off your first purchase. Again, that is CG, like my name, Chris Gethard. 10% off squarespace.com. Thanks again to all the sponsors who helped me bring this show to the world for free. Now let's get back to the phone call. What would you ask you? What would you even ask about? I don't even know what to ask you.
I don't know. What would you ask me? I mean, let me ask you, why was your week so rough? No one ever asks you. I'm going to ask you, why was your week so rough?
It was,
The show was great this week.
Oh, thanks.
I'll give that to you.
You watched the show?
The show was great this week.
With the big ice tub.
You watched the show.
Yeah, I got dipped in an
Pretty
ice
good,
tub. Let's see. It was it was a really good week. I felt really good. I have a blessed life. I fell into a little bit of a depression yesterday and kind of hit out in my. No one knows. I'm telling you this, and the whole podcast audience here is no one at the Chris Gethard Show knows this. I locked myself in my office because I was like, man, we got to do a show tonight, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, and I don't want all these people like worried and freaked out. So I just kind of spent my whole day in my office scared, and then spent my night getting dangled by a rope into an ice bucket. It was a weird day.
I was just going to say, not the best way, I think, to deal with that situation. It came out well on camera, though. I'll give you that.
That's good. And look, I got my problems. I fight through them. They come and they go. But at the end of the day, I got this job. I fought for it. There's about 50 people whose jobs depend on me keeping my head on straight, and that's a great motivator.
I love it, dude. I mean, good for you. I mean, I really do. I respect you for all that you do for mental health. I mean, I'm real blessed. I've really never dealt with depression and anxiety, but, my sisters have. Two of my sisters have both had to deal with depression. One of them was in and out of a hospital for suicide attempts. So I appreciate what you do. You're awesome, dude.
That's super nice. I'm sorry your sister dealt with that. Happy to help in any small way. Yeah,
well, I mean, I'm sure you can tell just from our interaction, we're pretty rough on each other. We're a pretty sarcastic family, and we're always there for each other, but we're the first one to make a joke. If we can find it, we do it. And we used to mess with her so bad. Yeah. So bad.
Now, I want to know, how serious are we? So your grandfather ran a shady garage. You could get an inspection sticker without bringing a car in. Is he a low-level guy? Is he high up in this chain? Is he like a neighborhood hustler?
I don't think he was a neighborhood hustler. I can't get my mom to really give me the deets on the situation. But when my sister and I were little, we used to go on Sundays. We'd go to ShopRite and we'd go grocery shopping. I used to think he was so cool because he would let us open ice cream sandwiches in the store and eat them before we paid for them. I'd be like, wow, look at us, ballers. We're great. And we went to a ShopRite one Sunday and he put his blinker on. He always had a new Lincoln Town car. Like every year or two, he got a brand new black Lincoln Town car. And he put his blinker on and some guy came flying in and took his parking spot. And my grandfather wore a suit every day of his life, got out of the car, got a bat out of the trunk, and just busted this guy's window out, his back window. Just busted his window out with a bat, got in the car, took another parking spot like it was nothing. And my sister and I were like, what the hell was that? And we were young. I was probably 6 or 7. And I just remember thinking wow, Poppy is a beast. Nobody messes with Poppy. And so, I mean, Poppy's he must have had the attitude that wasn't his first go round with busting windows out. So
Poppy's a beast.
He was a beast.
We called my grandfather Poppy as well. My mom's dad.
I feel like it's a good. Grandpa seems a little boring.
Yeah.
Grandpa's like the guy grumpy, sits on the couch and yells at you while he, if you come in the room or make any noise.
Yeah. All right, Grandpa. It's like, all right, Grandpa. Quiet down, Grandpa. You got that. No, you got Poppy. You look at him the wrong way, he'll smash Poppy, your fucking windows out.
I'm real glad. I've said this a lot. I mean, I'm real glad that Poppy wasn't around during my dating years.
Why? What happened?
I think there would have been some dead.
What happened with your dating years?
Well, I mean, I don't think anything really happened. I mean, I had the high school serious boyfriend that everyone has, was a couple years older. He was in a band, so I thought he was real cool. He wasn't real cool, but I thought he was real cool.
Yeah. How long did you date this guy?
And then 4 years, I think. 4 years.
Wow.
Lost my virginity to him, the whole bit, the whole shebang.
I don't want to get too graphic or gross. Dating people when you got Crohn's disease, that's not easy, huh?
Oh, Chris, I could tell, if you will allow me, I can tell you a story that I think will make your week just disappear, but it is a little graphic. A little graphic.
Am into it.
Oh man, I'm actually getting a little pumped up in my car right now to tell you this. Okay, so I've been with my current boyfriend right now for 8 years. He is a golf pro, so I mean he's a real fun, cool guy.
What? Everything you say throws me for a loop. You're dating a golf pro?
I'm dating a golf pro, dude. He's a real chill guy. He's real sweet. He's quiet. He's a ginger. I got myself a ginger. He doesn't have a soul, but that's all right.
Hey.
Cool.
Hey. We got
He's down with it.
We got sauce.
Well, when I drink a lot, which I tend to do, I'm a bartender. It comes with the territory. I think I turn into a porn star. That's what I think. So we live about an hour from where everything is in our town, and I'm hammered. We went out drinking with our friends. I am so drunk, and he's driving me home to our house, and I am just, as he's driving, I'm stripping all my clothes off, just getting completely naked. And I'm trying to attack him while he's driving. He's like, calm your tits, young lady. Like, I'm driving. I got to get us home safe. Well, I convince him to pull over in this park that's by our house. It's not a dog park. It's just a park. It's a nice park for children. It's the middle of the night. And I'm like, let's just defile this car in this child's park. Well, we roll the windows down. It's a hot summer night. And start to go at it in the car. And I'm like, oh, my God. It smells like dog shit. Like, this is disgusting. I cannot have sex here. This is absolutely disgusting. And he was like, yeah, this is fucking gross. Let's go. And we're about 10 minutes from home. We go home. I stumble up the stairs. He puts me to bed. I'm still completely naked. Stumbles to bed. In the morning, he wakes up. He's going to borrow my car. He's giving one of my bar regulars a golf lesson. Got in the car. Well, this is where it gets rough, Chris. Apparently, in my drunken stupor, I had sharted on the seat. That smell was not dog shit. That was me. He was so disgusting. And he came running up the stairs, and he was like, I'm still drunk, asleep, and he comes running in the room. He said, I don't give a fuck what I do to you. You cannot ever break up with me. You are so disgusting. You shit all over the seat last night. That is what the fucking smell was. And I have no idea, I didn't know. But with Crohn's disease, unfortunately, you can never trust a fart. And that is like his favorite blackmail go-to story for our sex life.
Wow. I'm going to estimate roughly 2/3 of our regular listeners have turned this episode off.
100% don't blame them, because it is mortifying / hilarious. And what made matters worse is I was like, there is no way. And he said, I am not stepping foot in that car. You need to go clean your car. So and not only am I in like the lowest low of a female's life, but now I have to go clean my own mess from my own car, knowing damn well he can hold us above my head for 8 years. And he has. Don't think he hasn't. No. It's there. He knows it.
Wait, did you walk naked from the car to your bed? Do you walk across the front lawn naked?
I did, Chris. And the worst part is I did. And who knows what I look like from behind. Thank God he was in front of me when we were walking.
So one of your neighbors, if one of your neighbors happened to glance out the window, they would have seen a golf pro walking across the front lawn, and then a naked lady with her bum covered in poo strolling behind.
I mean, I wish that visual wasn't so accurate to my life, but it is. It is. It is, dude. It's unfortunate. I mean, that's. I'm sure there's people out there with Crohn's disease right now. They're like, girl, I feel you. I've been there. It's rough.
So if you have Crohn's disease, every time you drink, you're playing the lottery, it sounds like.
I mean, every time I eat, I'm playing the lottery. Drinking is just like an added bonus. Like, let's see. It's like playing the extra play on Powerball. Like, something bad's going to happen, and it usually does. I mean, I'm real lucky. I've been pretty good for 2 years, and I haven't had to have any major surgeries. I've kind of found a little bit of a hippie, holistic way to treat my illness, and it's worked really well for me. But
what is it? Maybe there's some other people listening who want to know about this hippie, holistic treatment.
There's a real big study right now on gut health, and it's real funny, Chris, because I commented in the Facebook group a long time ago when I first joined it about you and, always needing emergency bathroom. I said, Chris, you need to look into gut health and how it affects your digestive system. But, just keeping a healthy gut, taking probiotics, it really does make a difference. Believe it or not.
Have you ever looked into a fecal transplant? Are you familiar with the world of fecal transplants?
I am. And just hearing you say that is like, it makes your butthole pucker. Like, I can't even imagine doing that. I can't. I just can't. Like, my shit's bad enough. I've had to literally clean it up myself. I don't want to have to ever shit again and think this is someone else's shit inside of me. I don't think I could do it, man.
Well, let me explain. For anybody who doesn't know, there's studies, and from what I hear, this is like a lot of people I don't know how much this is actual, like, medical world has given this a total thumbs up, but I believe they have. There's now a world of medicine where if you are sick, a lot of times this means you don't necessarily have the right balance of like enzymes, bacteria, things like that. So your fecal matter, you can have another person's fecal matter placed into you, and that the enzymes and bacteria of their fecal matter will then spread throughout your digestive system and normalize it because the presence of someone else's healthier fecal matter has now been transplanted into you.
Would you do it? I know you have stomach issues. Would you do it?
No, I just eat bad.
I've seen it, man, but you wouldn't do it, right?
No, well, I don't have to. I'm not in a world where it would have medical benefit. If I was doing it, I'd be opting into it. When I have my stomach stuff, it gets bad. I'm like, okay, I got to stop with the anxiety, and I got to maybe eat some less cheese, less dairy.
Yeah, but what if someone was like, hey, you'll never have anxiety again if we put someone else's poo into your poo chute? What would you say?
I'd seriously consider it. I would honestly
would
consider
you really?
it. Yeah, I've had a colonic.
Man.
I've had a colonic. That's just water. It's just a colonic with someone else's poo.
Oh, man, we're really pissing off a lot of people right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to predict that at this point in the conversation, you yourself are the only one listening back to this podcast by now. And literally everyone else has turned it off. That was one of the joyful situations in my life where I hear myself going through a sentence passionately and realize what I'm saying. It's just a colonic with someone else's poo. That's a thing you made me say out loud.
I'm real sorry, man. I mean, welcome to my world. I feel good. I feel good that someone else is with me right now. If it's just you and me, baby, it's just us. Let's do it.
You're the best. You're like the most fun person, huh? Are you the life of the party all the time?
Well, let's be honest. I like to think I am. I'm probably not sometimes, but I like to think I am. I like to have fun. I think that anything worth doing, you need to have fun. I mean, that's why I'm still a 30-year-old bartender. I love it. Despite having a degree, I'm having a great time. Yeah. I love it. I love people. Love hanging out with people.
How long have you been a bartender?
Oh, a long time. I started when I was 16.
16? Is that legal?
Which is illegal in the state, but no, that's completely illegal. 100% illegal. But I did it anyway.
How did you come to be hired as a bartender when you were 16? Who are the people buying drinks of a 16-year-old?
I was a beer cart girl at a country club and, a beverage cart girl. They didn't have a liquor license, but I could still bring beer out on the cart if I wanted to because no one really cared. It was a small golf course. And the bartender called out, and the guy was like, hey, I'm not kidding you. It was like a Bartender for Dummies book behind the bar. But, at the golf course, they're not drinking complicated drinks. It was pop open a beer and pour a Jack and Coke. And I was good to go. And so I did that for like a year and a half. And then I've just bartended ever since at various places.
No, it sounds like
it's a fun job.
If you started at country clubs, it sounds like maybe you're in like the classy end of this. Like you're not in the places where you see like bottles getting smashed over people's heads and stuff.
Well, I bartended in a club where that happened on the reg. A guy threw a Budweiser bottle at my head because I gave him his tab, and he said that his credit card wasn't the color it was when I gave it to him. That when he gave me his tab, his credit card was a different color, and I had somehow changed the color in the course of the evening, and he threw a Budweiser bottle at my head.
With your Santería. You did it with your Santería. You did it with your voodoo.
It's not my Santería, Chris. Don't put that shit on me. Grandma shit, not mine.
What have you seen in a bar? What would blow my mind? What's the most mind-blowing thing you've seen go down?
Mind-blowing, like how? Like, I've seen some real gross shit, and I've seen some crazy shit.
You tell me. If you could only tell me one thing from your 14 years as a bartender, what's the story that really blows me away?
All right, so I bartended at the same club where the guy threw his beer bottle at me. There was a period of time in like 2007 to 2000, I would say 12 or 13, where you'd go to bars and live music was the big thing. Bands were always playing. It was before EDM got really popular, and people always went out to see bands on the weekend. There were always cover bands, but people went out to see them. And this club that I worked at held a lot of people. And so it was my night off, and another girl that's a good friend of mine and I, we were off, and we went to a bar at a different part of the town that we live in. That bar was along the waterfront. And the people there were like really pretentious, and like everybody's drinking martinis, and we were like, yeah, this is definitely not our style. So we went back to the bar that we work at on our night off, and the girl I was with, she was pretty drunk, and she walked alongside the bar, and she had a vodka cranberry and knocked into someone and spilled a little bit on the girl's jeans. And the girl who got vodka cranberry in her jeans was livid, absolutely livid. So my friend came and got me, and she was like, listen, this girl is so pissed right now, but I'm way too drunk to deal with it. Can you go talk to them? So I went over. It was a boyfriend and a girlfriend sitting down, and I said, hey, I work here, and I'm really sorry that happened. She is really drunk. I have a tab open. Any drinks that you want for the rest of the night, just let the bartender know. And the bartender's a friend of mine. And I showed them, and I said, these guys, whatever drinks they want, just put on my tab, just to try and, ease the situation. You know how drunk people can be, and they just weren't having it. And all of a sudden, the girl took her drink and just threw it in my face. And I was still trying to be the mediator. And I said, listen, I work here. If a bouncer saw you do that, they would kick you out. And lucky for me, her drink was not that full. Well, the drunk friend saw this happen, and she just came claws flying at this girl's face. And the boyfriend stood up, and I got snookied, Chris. He punched me in the face.
You got snookied?
Punched me in the face.
Oof, did you go down?
It was, you know what? I've got a little bit of pride here, Chris. I was wearing heels, and I held my own. And he was so drunk that when I hit him, I barely touched him, and he went down. So I looked real cool.
You didn't mention, I like that you didn't even mention that. You said you got punched in the face. You let me do a follow-up, and then you happened to mention that you boogie hooked this dude and put him on his ass.
Well, that's not the best part of the story. But I got snookied in my own bar, and the bouncers at this bar were just massive dudes, and they saw it happen, and it was just game over for that guy. I don't even know what happened to him, but that was probably the whole thing just erupted in a brawl. But imagine about 10 6'5" black dudes just taking a skinny white dude to a basement of a club that never to be seen for the rest of the night. Sure did not go well for him, but that was probably my craziest experience in the bar that I worked at, easily.
I had a feeling when I asked you what's the craziest thing you've seen in a bar, you would have had a story.
It was going to involve
exactly like that.
Oh, man. Sorry. I'm so predictable.
No, you're not. Don't play that game.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to play. I just felt predictable in that moment.
How does one come to date a professional athlete?
I I've been bartending at an Outback Steakhouse for a really long time. And I'm only there a couple days a week, but I met him there.
Outback
at
Steakhouse.
The old Outback.
Outback Steakhouse. That's
where all the dreams come true, baby.
Hold on.
Disneyland Exchange.
Hold on. Everything I ask you about, so okay, you got a Catholic background. Yeah, but it's actually Santería because I had this grandma and she would bring her friends over and they do these ceremonies at my house. Okay, cool. What about the other side of your family? Well, my Native American father and my mother divorced and he smokes all this weed and then they lived together for 2 years, this and that. Okay, what about your work life? Well, bar brawls, this and that. What? Okay, personal life. Well, I shit my pants and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, but how'd you come to date a professional athlete? Outback Steakhouse.
You just wrote my autobiography. It sounded great.
Well, if I wrote it, it's
beautiful.
not an autobiography. It's a biography.
Biography. You're right. You win.
Now you start giving simple answers.
I'm sorry. I wish it was cooler.
Outback.
I wish it was cooler.
Now, was he pro when you
know.
started dating 8 years ago? Outback Steakhouse. Didn't see that one coming. A commercial enterprise like Outback Steakhouse. You know what else are commercial enterprises? Are the many fine sponsors that we have. They bring in products, services. I hope you enjoy them. After this, we'll be back. We'll finish off this phone call. I was talking with my wife just the other day, about 2 days ago. I said, I think the post office in our neighborhood, it's okay for a post office. And she said, listen to yourself. It's okay for a post office. No. That's why I love Stamps.com. My wife has become a huge supporter of Stamps.com, as have I. And she immediately was like, no post office. Stamps.com changed my life. I've mentioned it on the show before. She has a band. She constantly has to send out merch, t-shirts, records, everything. Stamps.com, game changer. Anything you can do at the post office, you can do it right from your desk with Stamps.com. Buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package using your own computer and printer. And unlike the post office, Stamps.com, it never closes. You can get the postage when you need it, 24/7. Not one of these situations you realize you need a stamp. You run down there and, they're not open for 4 days. For some reason. I love it. I've mentioned this a million times. It's made my life easier, my wife's life easier. Everybody knows I love my wife, love seeing my wife happy. Stamps.com has made her happy. Personal recommendation. It gets it from me. Right now, use my code BEAUTIFUL for a special offer. You get a 4-week trial, including postage and a digital scale. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage. Type in BEAUTIFUL. That's Stamps.com. Enter code BEAUTIFUL. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. Thanks again to all of our sponsors. Help us bring this show to the world for free. And if you guys are interested, check those things out. Use the promo codes. It helps Beautiful Anonymous. And now, let's finish our phone call. Now you start giving simple answers.
I'm sorry. I wish it was cooler.
Outback.
I wish it was cooler.
Now, was he pro when you started dating 8 years ago?
He was working at a golf course. He was living in Miami at the time, working at a golf course. He's not like on the PGA tour. I'm not banging Jordan Spieth here, but he's a golf pro. So he's a teaching pro. He's a professional golf teacher, and he plays on some bigger events. But I'm not. This is no Rory McIlroy situation. Wish it was, but it's not.
McIlroy. That's cool. So he makes his living in that world, but he's not somebody that we know. If you're a golf fan who watches TV, this is not somebody.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Exactly.
It's a pretty cool way to make your living.
I guess. I mean, for me, golf is cool. You can play 9 holes, drink some beer, be outside. It's much more serious for him. I don't envy what he does. It's probably one of that and tennis. It's the only professional sports where if you don't win, you don't make money. You don't just make money for showing up. You've got to actually win.
Yeah. And I would also imagine too, if he's a teaching pro, you're dealing with a lot. If people are coming to a pro for teaching, your people probably, there's some potential there. There's some pressure there. It's also a sport that I think is known more for being the wealthy, the elite. He must be getting yelled at.
Yeah.
He must be getting yelled at. High pressure situations.
The world, man. Yeah. He's also met some really cool people through it, though. I mean, he's met quite a few people that are really cool, really chill. But golf is an expensive sport, so I really don't envy what he does. I respect it highly. I don't envy what he does. We couldn't be more opposite in the jobs that we have, which is probably real good for the relationship. But like his personality is made for golf. He's real laid back. He's real chill. He's calm, he's patient, and I'm the complete opposite, so it works out. Yeah,
balance. You need a yang. You're a yin, and you need a yang.
Oh, I do need for sure. I need a yang. And we've been together 8 years. We're in no rush to get married. We're living in sin, just hanging that out. But
did he move from Miami to come be with you?
He's from New York originally with me. Went to school in Miami, lived there for a while. He moved back from Miami to New York to be with me.
Got it. That's cool.
It's cool. I mean, made me feel cool at the time.
Yeah, I bet.
That's what every girl guy to move across the country for.
Yeah, golf pro. Who knew? That guy liked Bloomin' onions, and instead he found Bloomin' love.
Man, I really wish that I could come up with something better, but it was literally sitting at the bar of the Outback when I met him.
I nailed that, by the way. I nailed that.
You did. Blooming love was good.
Bloomin' onion
I want
joke.
to talk to corporate, see if we can't get you some sponsorship.
I'd love, please. I would love to read some Outback Steakhouse ads here on Beautiful Anonymous. I'd love that.
I'm gonna see what I can do. I'll see what I can do for you. Especially from the girl with Crohn's disease who literally should not eat anything at an Outback Steakhouse.
What's the most?
You
can't eat spicy food, right? The spiciest food you're eating is mashed potatoes. You can't touch that stuff.
I mean, I can do some seasoning now. I love the taste of spicy food, but it's like really, really, you have to think to yourself before you eat something. Like, how much of your next 12 hours are you going to commit to the bathroom? Yeah. Like, maybe if I'm Netflix binging a show, I could be like, yeah, let's do this.
What are there any particular cuisines that are just your enemy? Are there any different cuisines that's off limits?
Oh my God. Any type of hot sauce, like any type of hot sauce. And I love it. I love wings. Any type of hot sauce, ice cream, which is like probably my favorite food group of all food groups.
Ice cream is not a food group. Ice cream is.
It is for me. It is. When you can't have it from 7 years old to 30, you make it a food group, Chris.
Did you have to eat tofuti?
Oh, hell no.
There was a kid in my neighborhood.
I'm sure I should, but I don't.
Kid in my neighborhood who's lactose intolerant. He always had to eat tofu ice cream.
That's terrible. That sounds embarrassing.
Yeah, it's not the best thing to be the kid who shows up at the party with the tofuti. Sorry, that's not the best thing.
I was just going to say that, Chris. I was going to say you don't want to be the kid that shows up at the freaking birthday party and the mom's like, here's his bran muffin when everyone else is eating cake. Here's his bran muffin and his, alkaline water because he can't have tap water. Whatever the hell it is.
Everybody else is doing, everybody else has got their Carvel cake going. Everybody else got the Carvel cake going. And then let me bust you out, your own separate thing, because that's what every kid wants to feel is different.
Different, completely. At a birthday party. That kid probably has a terrible haircut. Hands down.
He had a pretty good haircut.
His mom gave him some terrible haircuts.
I don't remember his haircut being particularly bad.
You're being kind, I think. You're being kind.
Well, we were all North Jersey blue-collar people in the 80s. It's not like any of us were walking around with well-designed haircuts. I had a mullet. In 5th grade.
You should be proud of that.
I'm not.
Don't you feel like in New York, if you spot a mullet, you're like, wow. No matter what the person looks like, nothing else matters about that person that they have a mullet, and you feel some kind of kinship. You're like, good for that dude. He's got a mullet.
Yeah, you never see him in the wild anymore. You never see him. You see him ironically
when you
sometimes.
Spot them, it's a white rhinoceros of the haircut. You see it. It's a sight to behold. And you have to document it, so you have to take a picture of it. Absolutely.
We got about 15 minutes left, me and you.
15 minutes, Chris. Well, we've talked about my bowel movements for about 50 of them, so.
Yeah, we have touched
now that we have no more listeners left, we could probably talk about whatever we want. No one else is listening but us, so.
Well, you tell me. It's your time. What else would you like to discuss? We've gone over so many things.
So many things. I was actually talking to the dude that picks up the phone while you're on hold, and I was telling him, like, I'm sure you can relate being in stand-up comedy, but there's, such a stigma right now. You go to college and you graduate, sure, you with your American Studies degree, but everyone says, when are you going to get a real job? When are you going to get a real job? And my bartending job, honestly, makes more money for me than my friends' real jobs that they have, and they hate their lives because they have no free time. And I'm, done with work by 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm making more money than some of my friends. And I think it's very strange that people just have that. I think it's more my generation. I'm 30, that everyone's like, you need that real job. There are no real jobs for us anymore, especially the ones we went to school for. So why not bartend? Especially if you live in the city, which I don't live in the city, but if you live in a city and you can bartend, I mean, you're easily making 60, 70 grand a year. Easily.
a decent chunk of change.
especially for a bartender.
So you're encouraging people
Not too
to
shabby.
not. You're encouraging people. Screw a real
Quit your
job.
job, man.
Chase your happiness. Chase your happiness. Find what's right for you.
Absolutely. I'm an experiences person, not a things person.
No,
That's the reason I've been my boyfriend for 8 years, and we're not married. We're not going to, I mean, your wedding sounded real cool, but I'm not going to drop $50,000 for one day of my life. Like, what is the point?
That was a crazy amount of money for one weekend of my life. I don't even like to think about it. Me and my wife, when our wedding was over, we honestly had a conversation that was like, let's never, ever look at the receipts from any of that. Let's never add that up.
Oh, I can't even think about, like, I can't even fathom spending that amount of money on one day. I can't. Well, you did a weekend, which is even cooler. At least you stretched it out,
Tried to have fun. I want to know, you're someone who lives for experiences. You like doing it your own way.
Yeah.
What's an experience that exemplifies that? When you say you live for experiences, tell me about one of these standout experiences.
One of my standout experiences. Well, we committed to each other about 3 years into our relationship that every year we would take a really big trip. Like, it doesn't matter what our finances are. We would just make it work because, especially once you hit 30 and you're a female, especially in the type of family I have, everybody's like, when are you going to have baby? When are you going to have baby? When are you going to have baby? And I want to get in as much of the world as I can. So every single year for the past 5 years, we've gone on a massive trip. We just did Ireland. We're planning our big trip for this year. And we just committed to each other that even when we have kids, just once a year, you have to just take a big trip, just see something you haven't seen, go somewhere you haven't gone, meet someone you haven't met, because it's overwhelming how much there is out there that I haven't experienced. And being the second oldest, my mom was very sick growing up, and I stayed home from school and didn't go away, and I took care of my family and raised my sisters, and I don't regret a minute of it, but this is the first time in my life since I got all of them into college, and they're all into college, and I've, paid for my sister's wedding. One's married, the rest of them are gone. I just want to, see the life that I didn't get the college experience. I didn't get all that. So that's something that I've promised to myself every year I will go somewhere new. Every year.
That's cool. I just did Ireland too last year.
It's awesome, right? The people are great.
Oh, nicest people you ever met. But you're always about
in the world
20 seconds away from the saddest thing you've ever heard.
I'm in. Let's do it.
No, I mean in Ireland. Everyone's so nice. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, you got to check this out. Go to this restaurant, this and that. Oh, and there used to be a gallows here where they hung the Catholics. And you're like, oh, wow.
You're like, oh, sweet. Those were my ancestors. Awesome.
Yeah. Get blindsided. I went to my grandfather's village, though. That was cool.
That must have been awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty head
spinning.
spinning. No, you go.
No, I just said I have also a family there, but I didn't go see them. So you got the full experience. I didn't get it.
Where did you go? Where did you go in Ireland?
We did Dublin, Kilkenny, Killarney, Galway, Dingle. We did like a big loop.
That's cool. We did some of those
Yeah,
places.
that's awesome.
Galway and Dingle. We got those in common. We ended our trip in Dingle because we wanted to hang out with that dolphin, but then it was raining.
Dolphin.
It was raining.
The dolphin.
Did you see the dolphin?
Pouring when we went. I saw him, the dolphin statue. Does that count?
No.
Statue.
I saw the statue as well. Yeah, Dingle, it was raining so bad. Dingle's a great name for a place.
Yeah, we were there pouring. Absolutely pouring. And all the restaurants and bars were closed down. So we had lunch in the grocery store that they have right in the middle of the city. That's where we ate our lunch, in the grocery store.
Galway was amazing, though. Galway's the best.
Galway was the best.
Yeah.
Every pub you went into, they were having a music session, as they call it.
Yes.
Everyone would just walk in and playing with their instruments. Oh, it was amazing.
It was incredible. We went to one, we go to this one Galway pub where we heard there was really good music. Walk in, it's amazing. It's 20 people around a big table in the middle of the room, all different instruments. There's a guy, he's got a fiddle, and he's clearly the leader. And he was an Asian guy. And this is not notable when you live in America, but Ireland, there's not much there's not as much diversity, I would say. I don't think that's a slam on Ireland. So we're like, this is cool, like this Irish traditional music. I wonder what this guy's story is. And then we don't know what the guy must have recognized me in some way, and he thought he knew my wife and I. He must have he must watch some TV show I've done some dumb bit on. And he came up to my wife and I, and he was like, "Hey, I'm so glad you guys finally made it out, man. Good to see you." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we're real happy to be here." And then I think he realized, "Oh wait, I don't know who you are," and he kind of like shuffled away. And I was like, "How did like an Asian guy with like a California surfer dude accent come to lead like a badass Irish traditional music roundup?" And we looked him up. The he's like a badass. He's like played with like I think like Yola Tango and like all these indie bands and stuff.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I never got.
Chances that's a Chris Gethard move. That was a Chris Gethard move.
I never got to the bottom of that. Never got to the bottom of that. It's cool though.
Well, he's pretty much your new best friend, so you can find out.
Well, I never spoke to him again. And that was a year ago.
Man, that's crazy. That's nothing cool like that ever happened to me.
Yeah, nothing cool ever happened to you. Every story you got is like a 3-point shot.
Oh, man. I can't wait till my boyfriend hears the story and realizes that I told the car shit story. He's going to kill me. It's going to be awful.
How long does it take to get that smell out? What's the cleaning process on that? People are so mad we're going back to this. People are so furious we're even talking about this again.
I know. I'm just going to, I'll close the door right after this. It was the middle of the winter. I left the windows open for like 2 days. Blasted to and from work. It's an hour drive for me each way, and I just blasted heat, windows open.
Now, do you take it to a car wash to use their heavy duty equipment there? Are you too ashamed? You got to do it by hand in the driveway?
I just did it in the driveway in the snow. I accepted my fate.
And what's the product of choice? Are we talking cloth upholstery, leather upholstery? What? Walk me through this.
It's cloth. It's cloth. I drive a nice Toyota Corolla. Nice black upholstery.
What color? What color's the exterior? I want to picture it in my mind.
Oh, it's ultra white.
An ultra white Corolla, black upholstery.
S-type. It's supposed to be their sporty version.
The sporty version, yes. And you get in, and it's snowing. So are you in the driver's seat leaning over onto the passenger seat? Do you have the door open, hands and knees outside to do the scrub?
Passenger seat. I wanted to hide. I even opened the back door. This is not a joke. When I was doing this, I opened the back door and the passenger's door to create like a little alcove for myself in case my neighbors walked out to see what I was doing.
And what type of product? Harry in the booth just copied and pasted a picture of a white Toyota Corolla for me so I could see the sportiness of this car. Beautiful right? Car. Beautiful car. Got to keep that thing clean up. What kind of product does one choose to wipe one's own feces off of cloth upholstery in a Toyota Corolla?
This story is going to keep getting worse, man. So there's an Aldi by us that we go grocery shopping, and they have this stuff called Fabuloso. And it smells like so potent, but we have 2 massive dogs. So if they ever, accidentally go to the bathroom in the house on accident or something, this stuff is so strong smelling that it just takes the smell out. So I Fabuloso'd my car, which, if we're going to be honest, that scent was almost worse than my own scent. So
you're telling me that the same product you use to clean your dog's feces, you have also at times used to use...
Why wouldn't it work? I thought that was a steady stream of logic.
And what do you get? You get cloths? You get sponges? What are we doing to get this stuff up?
Oh man, Chris, you're going to make me the most hated guest you've ever had on the show. We used I used some paper towels because I was panicking, and then I had to go back in for a sponge, which I obviously disposed of immediately after.
Yeah, that one doesn't go back in the dish rack.
That's not going back in. The anger level from my boyfriend was still high at this point, so I was also sneaking things out there to clean.
That might be.
I just texted him before. and told him I did the shit story, and he just texted me back and said, I seriously hope you're fucking joking. So this is going to go over so well. This is going to go over real well.
That may be one of the worst attempts at a sexual encounter I've ever heard of.
You know, it's definitely not my finest moment. I'm going to have to say that.
Yeah. And you went and there was lovemaking did not actually happen in light of all this.
No, I'm real happy that he didn't. Yeah. Thank God.
Because you were gunning for it.
I don't know that I want to have sex with me again. I wouldn't.
2.5 minutes left, my friend.
All right, Chris. Well, I just want to make a blanket apology to everyone listening if they were eating lunch on a lunch break. Or
yeah, let's go over some of the common things people do. They do their dishes, they do their laundry, they go on a jog. Some people have told me, I guess it's marathon season. In the Facebook group, I see people saying, I'm training for a half marathon. I'm binging on Beautiful Anonymous.
Oh, my.
What's that?
I'm doing one in October.
You are? You're doing what are you doing? A 5K, half marathon?
Half marathon.
That's
First
cool.
one.
That's cool.
Yeah, none of those things that you just listed are going to be the proper place for someone to have listened to this episode.
No. A lot of people listen like on their commutes to work in the morning in the cars that they are in, and they're going to have to be reminded. They're going to. A lot of people.
Listen to it.
A lot of people are going to be driving to work, hear your story, and just offer a subtle glance over to their own passenger seat. They're going to quietly shake their heads.
I just did. I just looked at mine.
Are you? Oh yeah, you're in your car. Are you in the Toyota Corolla where this happened?
I'm in said Corolla. It's like Inception. I'm telling the Corolla story in said Corolla.
Oh, I love it. I needed this. Real bad. I didn't even know I needed this until it happened.
I'm glad I give you some tips out, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm glad I could be that for you.
Legit, thank you. I think many people don't like the potty stuff as far as fans of the show go, but I can tell you, I thank you. I think this is definitely one of the funniest calls in the history of the show.
Well, Chris, I appreciate that. Coming from you, that's a big up, and I appreciate that. And if I gross everyone out, I'll mute the comment thread on this one if it ever goes to air.
You can't worry about other people's opinions. Sometimes you just got to take a shit in your own car and hold your head up high.
That's my motto every day.
Yeah.
My motto.
Yeah. It's mine too.
I'm a car shitter and I'm proud of it.
I'm a car shitter. I'm proud of it. I don't think I've ever taken a shit in a car. I took one at a bus stop, but not on the bus.
Ooh.
Shit in your pants on a public bus has to be a real low.
Started the car with me peeing. We ended it with talking about my shit. Yeah. I mean, this is really well-rounded, I think.
I would say, yeah, we covered all the bases. Piss and shit. Those are the two bases, right?
Piss, shit, Santería, me not getting dumped, surprisingly.
Getting punched in the face.
How else could this go wrong?
Caller, thank you for calling, making me laugh that hard, giving me an hour this week where all I had to do was sit back and laugh. It was so nice of you, and I'm so glad you called. And thank you. And thanks to everybody who listened as well. Thanks to the people who helped build this show in the early days. The Reverend John Delore, Greta Cohn. Thanks to Casey Halford in the booth. Breaking the seal. First time we got Harry Nelson in the booth as well. And as always, thanks to my buddy Jared O'Connell. Thanks to Shellshag for the music. You want to know about the dates when I'm out on the road, including some live Beautiful Anonymous shows, chrisgethard.com. You can find out about all that. If you like Beautiful Anonymous, go to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, subscribe. It really does help so much. Thank you, guys. We'll be back next week with more phone calls. Are you or someone you know preparing for a standardized test? I'm talking about these ones with the acronyms, right? ACT, SAT, GRE, GMAT, LSAT, MCAT, Magoosh. Online Test Prep provides everything you need to get a great score with plans starting at just $79. You can get study schedules, practice questions, video lessons, and support from expert tutors. Just visit magoosh.com, enter promo code BEAUTIFUL for a 20% off discount. That's magoosh.com, promo code BEAUTIFUL. Next time on Beautiful Anonymous, someone who is seeing the immigration issue on the front lines lets us know what it's like from the inside. That's what you see, is family-driven people who work hard. That's what I see. That's why I don't get why people are so aggressive instead of being compassionate.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, boggles my mind. And I don't know where this, perception that, Hispanic people coming to this country are, lazy and are coming here to take advantage of the system. That's not at all the case. Coming here to this country to be an immigrant, it's a hard life. My mom, my uncle has done the same thing. My aunt, they've come to this country and have worked every single day and have been contributing members. They're taxpayers. They own homes, they own cars. They're contributing members to the society.
That's next time on Beautiful Anonymous.
I'm H. Michael Cray.
And I'm Cuckoo Kulapiliasak, and we are the host of Who Charted, where we discuss the charts in pop culture and get to know our guests. Speaking of great guests, last week we had the wonderful Jason Mantzoukas.
I'm so excited about this one. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. We had such a good time with Jason. We spoke of all his work in movie and films, and we had a great time counting down the charts.
So make sure you listen to us on Who Charted.
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Chris Bannon, and Colin Anderson. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.